ran away, and I've lived a long time among the fairies. Pete, you really know fairies? Yeah. But they're nearly all dead now.
There is nothing we can do.
Seize control of the FDA!
There is nothing we can do. That's what I heard beginning in the early 1980s, when people in my life started to suddenly become sick with things that no one could explain.
We were at a time when there were not basically any effective treatments we now know.
The first report had just come out, and after seeing a patient, I saw a second patient, then another patient, and then there was an explosion.
We decided that we could be the scientists. We decided that the doctors could be the scientists. We decided that we had a place at the table.
And certainly ACRIA grew out of that activist spirit of, let's not sit around and wait for the government to do this for us. Let's do it ourselves.
As a gay man in New York, I can't remember not knowing about HIV and AIDS.
Through the 80s, as much as HIV and AIDS affected me emotionally, I had the feeling that you had to participate. You had to be a citizen. It was one of those things that was so important that one day people would look back and they would ask what you did then.
Well, no one thought people with AIDS would live to be 50. No one thought that there would be large numbers of heterosexual women with AIDS. So the mission follows the need. Our mission may have been to meet the need that existed, in the 80s and 90s, which was there's nothing we can do. Well, now there's a lot we can do, but now there's a whole new set of problems because the people that need the help are a whole different set of people.
In the last couple of years that I realized there's still something going on.
The level of denial that still exists in the Black community about AIDS is still scary to me, and it's something that I think ACRIA is in the position to provide a compelling argument to that audience.
What I've learned is that if you have this disease and you don't know what you need to know to take charge of it and to manage your health, all the food and housing in the world is not going to keep you alive. You have to have everything you need. And so we give our clients the tools they need to make the right choices.
This is like, instead of just having the experts design the materials and put it out there, which happens a lot, this is having the experts design it, but then actually test it with people who need to get that information.
What excites me about ACRIA is that they're truly on the cutting edge of research. They get medications in trial, they get medications out, and they get that information to the communities that need it.
We understood how important it was to get out in front of what was going to happen and try to predict it. And that's one of the things I've always loved about the organization. Who knows 10 years from now where we're going to be with this epidemic, but I have a feeling no matter where we are, ACRIA is going to be out in front, adjusting those needs.
What makes this organization unique is that we're small but enormously effective. We're independent but linked into some very important communities.
I think it's part of our responsibility really to contribute and to be part of the world that has affected it in such a dramatic way. As a board member of ACRIA, it's very important that we get involved, that you get involved, because this is a continuous fight. A lot of people are fighting every day for their lives, and it's fundamental. It's just an amazing organization, and the support that we give is invaluable.
I wanted to speak out today as a person with AIDS who is not dying.
I take hope when I see the children, the HIV-infected children of my patients going to college. I take hope when I see an HIV-infected woman give birth to an HIV-negative child, because it means that the virus has interfered with that one person's quality of life, but it hasn't stopped the continuity of birth and life and death and generation after generation. It's a problem to be overcome rather than something that will destroy us.
What we're trying to do at ACRIA is pay it forward. I came from the generation that saw the decimation of my community by AIDS, and the younger community hasn't seen that, and we're trying to simply tell them this is what happened and this is what we need to do.
It's still an epidemic and it's still incurable, and I think it's really important for young people to pay attention to that, because just because it's less obvious doesn't mean it's not there. And I think it's our duty as the next generation to be able to resolve and find a solution for AIDS.
The thing with ACRIA is that it's an organization that, as much as it's done, as much as it continues to do, we would really like you to put us out of business, because as much as things have improved, as much as now there are treatments, now people are able to live full, complete lives, there's still so much work to be done. And one of the things, and when I was the president of the board, I always dreamed of the day that ACRIA wouldn't have to be a charity asking you for money anymore.
Together we can end AIDS.
Together.
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 Together we can end AIDS.
ACRIA.
Together.
ACRIA.
Together.
ACRIA. Call it what you want.
Together,
Just join
we
us.
can end AIDS.
Join us.
We can end AIDS.
Join us.
You might just